My name is JD Bradley, and I've had a hell of a life that's given me a unique perspective and crazy stories that I share here. One Sunday early afternoon, a friend of mine, a stripper that went by Malaya, that we fucked on and off for a lot of years, and we're also mostly friends. The fucking was just a thing on the side. She called me and asked me to come pick her and her sister up and some other girl I was living with them. I can't remember her name at all now. She was a stripper for a little bit, and then she fell off the radar. So I went and picked them up. She wanted to go drinking. I'm always down to go drinking. So there was this one bar in town at the time. I can't remember what it was called off the top of my head, but they're long ago closed. And I kind of liked it. It was a little bit far away, and it's a little bit upscale, but I could still wear shorts in there, so I mean, it wasn't too bad. So we decided to go there, myself and these three strippers. And we get up there, and there's a guy at the door charging cover. And I was like, the hell, man, it's Sunday afternoon in Corpus Christi. Nobody charges cover. And he says, well, we've got a jazz singer here. I'm like, really? And then I realized there was a little bit of a crowd. I saw this really pretty woman that had been taking, because of a short break, a pretty blonde girl in her probably late 20s. Clearly had been rich her whole life, real classy. I'm sure went to a very expensive college, from a different world for me entirely. But anyway, I asked how much longer the show had, and he said like 15 minutes. And I'm like, are you really going to charge us cover to get in? There's only 15 more minutes. And he was like, yeah, you get a point. Come on in. Well, the singer saw that I didn't pay cover, and this kind of like set things in motion. And so we come in, and I sat down, and I gave Malaya some money. She went to the bar to get us some drinks. And these three girls being strippers in one of the most ghetto topless bars in Corpus Christi, they were acting like strippers. They're having fun, and maybe a little bit too much for the people in the club. And one of the guys that worked there came up and was like, hey, could you guys act right? And one of the girls called him a bitch, and he got pissed off. I'm like, dude, I'll tell him to calm down. Just leave us alone, okay? So he went back, and I was like, come on, man, let's not get kicked out of here. And the girl started singing. Man, she was fucking good, man. I mean, she was really good. So anyway, she had her eye on us, and she did like 2-3 more songs, and she was done. And so I went up, and I got us another round. And Malaya's sister, whose name I can't remember because she was only in town for maybe 4 months, and this is a long time ago, so I mean, I really didn't know her very well, but she got up to go to the ladies' room, and she comes back, and she's like, oh my God. I said, what? She said, the singer. I said, yeah. She said, she was in the women's room when I went there. I said, yeah, and she told me she could help me get away from you, that nobody should be put in this situation. I'm like, what? She goes, she thinks you're a pimp. And I was like, oh man, for real? And like, pimping in popular culture is a real cool thing. That's a pimping car. That guy's a pimp. Pimps are, you know what? Pimps are the biggest fucking pieces of shit on the fucking planet. I have so little I've got no respect for them, man. I fucking hate them. To use people like that, it just fucking disgusts me. So I'm like, oh no, I can't believe she thinks I'm a pimp. And I was a little bit horrified, to say the least. And so, the girl was at the bar, and I went up to try to explain myself to her, and she's like, please leave me alone. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm not what you think I am. She's like, I'm sure that's what you tell all of them when you first see them. And people are like hearing this, and I'm like, fuck, man. So, I told the girls, went up to the table, and I'm like, I don't want to stay here a whole lot longer. That girl thinks I'm a pimp. And then they thought it was hilarious, so they started calling me daddy real loud. And just exacerbating the living fuck out of the situation. I mean, it was kind of funny, and I was a bit amused, but mostly I just didn't want to fucking be there. So anyway, we finished our drinks, and I tell them, let's take off. And then I heard the singer say that she went outside, she came back in, and she said that her car wouldn't start. So I went up to her, and I said, hey, I'm not what you think I am. And I said, I have AAA. Could I just call and get you whatever you need for your car, if you need a tire changed or a jump or whatever. And she was like, I don't want anything from you. And the girls are like, oh, come on, Daddy, let's go. And I was like, man, shut the fuck up. And then I was like, just get in the fucking car. And then I was, oh my God, I totally sound like a fucking pimp now. But I was like, I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. So we left, and I never saw that girl again. I didn't go back in that bar ever, I don't think. It's a different bar, and I'll go there now, but I mean, this is a long time ago. So basically, this is the story of one time this chick thought I was a pimp, and consequently, I believe got the entire bar thinking I was a pimp. And, looking back on it, it's funny, but at the time, I was like, man, this shit really sucks. But anyway, that's the story. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and as always, if you enjoyed it, please recommend this podcast to 3 of your friends, and be sure to share it on your social media. Thanks a lot for listening, and you have a great day. Because like I said, every day above ground's a good one.